Hello everyone and welcome back. For today's video, I feel the topic is grossly overdue. However, since I'm filming it in the first quarter of 2017, please forgive me. For today, I want to talk about my best of 2016. Yes, we're going to go back in time. So let's get started. I have everything kind of organized here on my phone. Now I'm going to go by category. Now I don't have any hair products here, but on my phone, they're all empties because this brand, and I've talked about it before, really worked well for my hair. And it's the Alterna shampoo as well as their conditioner. Alterna's moisture line is the line that I'm talking about that just works so good on my hair. There's no protein within the moisture products. It also includes Alterna styling products, so they're CC cream and they have a hair oil as well. Anything in that line, I'm willing to try. Moving on to body, I didn't really have anything within that category. Now moving on to skincare. Here's another category where I was going into my collection and again trying to use up as much of my products as possible. First is face wash. I didn't have a favorite of last year. It's just using up my samples. Face mask. I also didn't have a favorite. Shocking considering I do a face mask every night. But as far as any new mask that came into the home in 2016 that was an actual face mask, no, a face sheet mask, I do have a category for that. There's one that blew me away, and that's from the brand Purlisse, and it's their blue Lotus sheet mask. I still use them to this day. It fits my face well, it's not dribbling all over the place, and my skin really likes the product. And the page moved. Crap. Why move in when I'm trying to talk? Next up is toner. I've been using my same toner that I've been using for prior years, so I don't have anything in that category. Moving on to essence. Yes, there was an essence in 2016 that slithered into the home. It is the Syn-Ake Snake Venom Essence. So that one, found it last year and will continue to use that until I leave this earth. Moving on to serum, face serum. Didn't have anything in that category. Again, just using up my samples. Face cream or face lotion. Again, using up my samples. I didn't have one that really kind of wowed me. Same for sunblock. Same for eye cream. Same for an eye makeup removal, just using everything that I still have in the home. Let's move on to makeup. I do have one for face wipes as far as to remove my makeup. This is Wet n Wild's 25 sheets makeup removal. They're saturated enough where it gets all the makeup off, even eye makeup in a pinch. It just does a good job, and my face doesn't feel like it's irritated. It doesn't feel that it's burning. I really do like these. It's dirt cheap. It's like $1.50, $2 for these wipes, and I go to town. Next category is a face primer, which I do have. Now this primer is from IPKN New York, and it's their Flash Radiance primer. Whenever I use this particular primer and I put either a BB cream or put a foundation, mix it in with a foundation, I get compliments that my skin looks really good. And why I knew it was this, it's because when I travel, when I take this is what I take with me when I travel, because I don't want to do up my face a lot when I leave, or you know, when you pack up, get ready to go and come back home from your trip. And it would be this primer that I'm always using, and I'm getting, you know, and I'm getting those types of compliments. So this is something that's going to stay in my collection. Next is foundation, and this is a drugstore foundation. It is Milani's Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. My shade is number 11, which is an amber. Applicator, appreciate the fact that it's in a pump. I noticed that this foundation has mixed reviews, meaning I feel that some people hate it or some people like it. It's thick and it dries fast. Probably because it's a 2-in-1. It's a concentrated foundation. So I like to work in sections when I use this foundation. I like to use my fingers to kind of spread it out. It creates a nice flawless foundation. It does say it's medium to full coverage. I use enough to kind of almost get to that full coverage stage. But what I like to do is, you'll notice, like in my other foundation videos, I just kind of dab in with this stipple brush, a dense stipple brush, and then just put extra foundation on the dark spots or any place that I need some additional coverage, and it covers it. Next is a powder foundation. Now I'm throwing this one in because this one really wowed me too, and it's a brand that I feel isn't talked enough about, which is probably good because I want to talk about it more. This brand is Inglot. Now I love Inglot. If you are a professional makeup artist, Inglot, a lot of us use it. Now this is their cream powder, and I'm in the shade 91. Now inside the compact, it looks like a powder, but it's a cream powder, and that's what I love about this formula. Buff it on the skin like you would with a liquid foundation. It starts to set, and it has a powder finish. So you don't even have to set it with powder. It's already turning into a powder finish. It builds to about medium, borderline full, depending on how much imperfections that you have to, cover up. Next category is concealers. Now this one was easy for me to pick. Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I don't know what took me so long to enjoy this concealer, but I love it and I'm here to stay. What makes this concealer the best to me is that it helps conceal any type of dark circles, any type of darkness that you have underneath your eyes, but it almost kind of has a little bit of a brightening effect too. It's very subtle, but it does what it needs to do. And you can use it spot conceal on your face as well, and affordable because it's Maybelline and found at the drugstore. Then for a highlighting concealer, here's another one that took me forever to discover and jump on the bandwagon, is Urban Decay's Naked Skin. Now I'm going to pick up another one of these for my actual skin toned shade and start using it like I would for my Maybelline. This is dark neutral, so this is the shade I will use for an under eye brightener. Doe foot applicator does the job. You can use their concealers like how you would use it if you were trying to cover up, let's say a tattoo, you were trying to cover up something pretty major on the skin, meaning their concealers are great to layer. What I mean by that is you can apply a thin layer of loose powder, you can apply their concealer to start building up coverage, and then you can apply some powder on top of it. Then you can apply another layer, and then you can put powder on top of that. The concealer will not cake. It will not do the whole oil and water type of a trick where it starts to bunch up because it's a liquid on top of a powder. Basically, it will stay put. It stays put and it lays flat. That's what I've noticed about their concealers. You'll notice that with concealers that are made for like stage makeup concealers or theater type makeups, you can do the layering. So it's nice to know that here's a cosmetic brand that offers that as well. I don't have a favorite pressed powder, but I do have two favorite loose powders. So one that kind of gives me a glow and one that I can use to set my face. Again, both discovered last year. So one's drugstore and one is high-end. So let's start off with drugstore first. This is from NYC. This is their Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. This is dirt cheap. This powder feels and it sets on the skin very silky. That is what I love. What I noticed is, especially in pictures, it makes the under eye area really smooth, almost kind of like you have a filter effect on. And my high-end one is from Kat Von D. This is the Lock It Setting Powder in translucent. This powder, I noticed, gives a slight glow. So this is great for setting underneath your eyes, and it's also a little bit more of a moisturizing type powder as well because it has vitamin E in it. I don't get any type of a white cast, no flashback with either one of these powders. They both set the foundation well, set the concealer well. Now let's move on to contour products. Now I have been using the contour palettes from Black Radiance. So I picked these up last year and I love these. There is a light to medium and a medium to deep, and I just use them in conjunction together. So with these now with the palette, you get a contour, you get a sculpt, and you get a highlight shade. In the light kit, the highlight shade is like a pale gold Bold shade. And the contour inside of here is a little bit warm. Bold shade I can use as my regular face powder. It actually blends into my skin, and I do enjoy the highlight in that. Now the medium to dark kit is what I would use for my face. So what I do for the contour is my contour color. I have it on today. The Sculpt color here, I use that as my bronzer. So I just kind of warm up my cheeks with that, and it deepens that up. This highlight is just a darker version of the light highlight shade that is in the light to medium. So I usually just dip my brush into both of them, mix it, apply, call it a day. Next up is bronzer. This one is from NYX. It's their matte bronzer, and I have the shade Deep Tan. Now when I first picked this up, I didn't think that this deep tan was going to be deep enough for my skin tone, but surprisingly it does. It provides a nice healthy glow, and it just glides on the skin and it builds up, so I can get like a nice deep color on my cheeks, along jawline, you know, above the eyebrows. Does a really good job. Next category is blush. Now I have two blushes, one that I use constantly. The first one is the one I use constantly, and this one is from Colourpop. This is in the shade Cheerio. 9 times out of 10, the videos from last year was this, oh, what's that little subtle plumish? This is the perfect flush shade, natural everyday shade for people of color. And then my next one is, I gotta include this one because I reach for it often as well, and this is from MAC. It's their MSF. It's their mineralized skin finish in Perfectly Lit. I tend to focus the brush down here, and I pick that up as my blush. Now it looks like it's sparkly. It looks kind of like, that's not a blush, maybe that's a bronzer. It looks sparkly. I'm telling you, put this on your cheeks and it's just a beautiful blush, flush of color, but just like a bronze version of the Colourpop. So again, focus the brush down here, and this section down here is highlighters. So what I like to do is I'll either separate them or swirl them together, wear it by itself on my cheeks, or I'll put Cheerio on, focus on the bottom, and put that as a blush topper for Cheerio, and then my highlighter will be these down here. When I'm silent on a product, you know it's good. And the last for the face product is my addiction, highlighters. And I have two because I equally was reaching for these two the most. The first is the Sundipped Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. These two, Bronze and Moonstone, are the two that I wear the most. I noticed that. I will just dip in bronze, dip in moonstone, or do bronze first and put moonstone kind of like on the apples. This pair is perfect. Summer I'll use, but I don't tend to use it as much as I use this one. This shade down here, Tourmaline, I notice I don't really use this one a lot. But what I've said to myself for 2017 is I need to be using these two and stop dipping into these. Like, find a way to use these. Knowing me, I'll probably just mix them all four together. But I'm like, if I don't use these two, I'm gonna it's such a stupid concept. You know, it's the formula. The formula of this kit, the highlighters are so smooth. They're smooth, they last all day. I just really love the formula. And then the next one is an indie brown. And so I discovered them last year. Love the highlighters, and I'm just addicted. I'm addicted to her products. These are Alluring Cosmetics, and I have worn in a few videos as well as a lot of my Instagram photos last year. And I believe in my white highlighters under $10, I featured Snow White. Someone will tell you with darker skin that, oh, you can't wear white. You can't wear white highlighters. Everything's always going to look ashy on you. Not necessarily. If the white has yellow or some type of a tone to it that is more on the warmer side, your skin, 9 times out of 10, will accept it. This is like a pink champagne. This is toasted marshmallow, so it actually has Snow White and then a nice like pale gold champagne color mixed in. I have a light yellow one, and this one is called Chardonnay. Now let's move on to eye products. This is Sigma's eyeshadow base. The shade that I use is called Persuade. I like how it comes in this jar applicator. This smooths out well. It turns into like a light nude shade on my eyelid, and then any shadow I put on top just looks intensified and it stays put. Now, eyeshadow. This one was actually fairly easy for me. This was the palette I reached for constantly. It was also to the point when I'd be like editing videos, I'm like, you always wearing the same colors. Can't help it. I just couldn't put this palette down. Tartelette in Bloom. This palette, the shadows are easy to blend. I feel they work in conjunction with one another, and you can create a lot of eye looks with it. I like how it's all laid out. So you have like basically by the row. So if you look at a palette and you're like, I don't know what shades go with which, they already have it lined out for you. You can just use whatever row you want. I mix and match, but in a pinch, it's super easy just to go by a row if you want. I tend to use this row a lot down here because I like these two shades right here. But of course, I love my deep shades too for a smoky eye. And you have a dark black, you have like I think that's a brown right there, and then you have the dark plum. I always use this top one here to set the eye base. And then I have some good transition shades here. And then for the inner eye, Funny Girl. I always use Funny Girl for the inner eye. I'm going to get the first one to go with it. And I think I'm going to get the Pro palette soon and see how I like those shadows as well. Now let's look at some eyeliner and eyebrow. First we'll do eyeliner. This is from NYX. It's their liquid black liner, and this is the matte version. So that's precisely why I like this one, is that the fact that it dries to a matte finish, and it actually dries fairly quick. So it has just the typical wand. It's a very thin brush, and it does give you time to apply your eyeliner, do a wing, however you want to use it. Then it dries down to a very dark black, and then it's just matte. For eyebrows, it's a pencil, and it's from L'Oreal. It's their Brow Stylist Definer. So you have the spoolie on one end, and you have a very thin, like an Anastasia Brow Wiz tip pencil. Frankly, does pretty much the same job. I didn't have a favorite mascara. I was just always using whatever samples I had or whatever I had that was full size, so nothing for mascara. But I do have false lashes. So my favorites have been from House of Lashes. This one just happens to be the one that they sell in Sephora, so it's a collaboration with Sephora. And this is in the style Timeless. Frankly, it's like their name, Timeless. It has a slight drama look, but it's still classic at the same time. So you can wear them to work, and it doesn't look overpowering. It doesn't look like I see your lashes first. You know what I'm talking about. And you can also wear them at night if you're going to dinner or, out on the town, whatever you might want to do and you want to put on some false lashes. You still have that drama effect for evening, so it's very versatile. Next up is lips. First, I have a favorite lip scrub. I have from Tarte. This is their lip facial scrub. Now, this is the one I specifically keep in my kit. If somebody has not exfoliated their lips, I can take this pencil and scrub their lips, and I don't have to worry about having a sink around. Enough where it's like a balm, but it's gritty enough where it can get the dead skin off. And then I can take a tissue, and the tissue will wipe off the residue, and it won't leave the little tissue residue on your mouth. Or I can take a washcloth and take it off. So that's what I like about it. So I don't need a sink to get it off, and I don't want you to lick it off with your lips because the saliva is actually going to make your lips drier. Now this one I'm going to call it a category of a lip treatment because I'm shaking it. This I picked up on my birthday last June. Another mixed review product. People hated it. People loved it. There was a very small amount of people who liked it. I loved it. This is the Juicy Shakers. I think they still sell this. This is in the shade Berry in Love. What I do when it comes to Lancome's lip products, I usually walk in and if I see Lupita, I'm like, whatever's on her lips, I will take. And what I like about it is my lips all day long. All day long. The oil is in here, hydrates my lips. My lips love it. Now next is an actual lip gloss. And I've been wearing it by itself or I'll just put it on top of a lipstick like I have it dabbed on this lipstick right now. This is from Flower Beauty Cosmetics, which is sold at Walmart, which is Drew Barrymore's line. And this is in the shade Classic Nude. So it looks really light in the tube, but it works. And I think this is a classic nude shade that will work with all skin tones. You have a doe foot applicator and it's just a beautiful, it looks kind of shocking pink. It almost kind of looks like a cool tone pink, but you got to try it on. It's a really beautiful shade. What I like about their glosses is that it's not sheer. It's like in the middle between being opaque and an actual lip gloss. Next is lipstick, and these are the lipsticks that are actually in a bullet applicator. So I have several. I just keep them in this little container right here. And these are from Urban Decay. And this is are these the Vice? I think these are the Vice lipsticks. Yeah, now, these were sent to me last year. Now, when stuff is sent to me, I actually use it. I test it out still, and I still obviously will form an opinion. Regardless of whether I spent the money or not, you're gonna get some form of opinion from me. So there are a variety of finishes. You have pearlized, you have the matte and cream. Full coverage lipsticks. This is the cream formula. I love how they wear. I love how they just don't move everywhere on the lips. And they're really comfortable too. They're a lipstick that's not drying. I think they're just great lipsticks. Instagram photos and in a lot of videos, I was using these lipsticks. Now, liquid lipsticks. And these are from Smashbox. Now, these blew me away. The one that I'm wearing right now is True Grit. It's just like a deep brown. Just felt like wearing a nice deep shade today. This is another product I would not have ran out to buy on my own. I went to a Smashbox party last year and this was like in the gratis bag. When I think of liquid lipsticks, I wouldn't have thought of Smashbox. There are so many liquid lipsticks options. So when I was trying to decide what was my favorite, I kept thinking to myself, what was the one that I just was reaching for constantly? And it was Smashbox. I like the applicator. You have a very comfortable like curved tip, so it goes right with your lip line. When I want in a liquid lipstick, I want it to be comfortable, but I still want it to perform as a liquid lipstick should, which sometimes is kind of difficult. It's like you either have to sacrifice that your lips are going to be very dry for it to stay on your lips all day. It's like you have to kind of sacrifice stuff for a liquid lipstick. Not with these. These stay put. They look like a liquid lipstick on your lips because I want it to look like I have on a matte, like a dry lipstick when I wear it. But they are comfortable, and that is what I said, you know what, it's Smashbox last year. Smashbox, always on liquid lipstick, beat any other liquid lipstick to me as far as last year. What I was trying, what I purchased, these, I can't say anything good enough as it is. And the last makeup item will be lip liners. I do have two. I am going to include the ones that came with the Urban Decay lipsticks because I'm still using them. I think they are great. They pair well with the Urban Decay lipsticks. It's creamy enough for you to line your lips and get that line down. You can either fill it in, again, it's not drying. You can fill it in, have it as your lipstick, or you can place another lip product on top. You can place a gloss on top, and it's going to pair well with it. So I'm thinking about that as well. What is that lip liner that is comfortable, is not dragging dry as you put on your lips? Next lip liner is the one that I will always be buying, and it's another Colourpop item, and this is in the shade BFF3. BFF3. Look, I just took the lid off and it already kind of went up. I don't care how it is. I ruined it a little bit when I used the sharpener. I don't care. I don't care because the color is that damn good. Brownish nude, perfect. Goes with so many lipsticks, so many lip glosses. Absolutely love this lip liner. This is another one where I'm just going to be silent, be like, look how much I've already used. Enough said. Perfect. I don't have anything for nail polish. I don't have anything as far as a nail treatment. Using what I have, I decluttered my nail polish stuff, and I have so many nail polishes using what I have. But the last item is something that I use every single day. Every single day. And you can get it at Walmart. The Always Off makeup cloths. And these are like the makeup eraser. I think it's the dupe for the makeup erasers, so it will get your makeup off. Now, I don't use it for that reason. I use these for my brushes. So what I do is when I'm doing my makeup, and especially with eye makeup brushes, the material of this cloth is perfect to take a brush. Let me just take a brush right here, and you can, rub it on this cloth and it takes the color off. So you don't have to use a makeup sprayer to clean your brush in between any type of application. Especially when I'm doing eyeshadow and I don't want to mix the colors like that if I'm using the same brush. I can just rub it on here and the color is instantly off. Instantly off. Then what I do is, same thing with my beauty blender. What I will do is I'll take it to the sink, clean the beauty blender, and then I take the cloth with me, take some Dawn dish soap, and all the makeup runs out of this. Wring it, lay it flat to dry, and it's good to use in the morning. It actually dries quick. It's probably going to be dried within probably a few hours if you need to maybe reuse it. It's a trick that I just came across. I just happened to have it on my desk, and I was, going back and forth with the brushes, and I was like, the color's off. Oh, I have to go buy another pack. So yeah, great discovery last year, affordable, and to this day I use it every single day. I just use a clean one every day, and that's it. Those are all my favorites from 2016. Long overdue. I can't wait to put everything away now so I can get back to using it. And I hope you liked it. I hope that you found some new discoveries. And if you have questions about anything that I've talked about or you want to know a little bit more about, please leave some comments. Sorry, this is long overdue, but it's done now, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening. And as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.